what is going on with Myles Garrett that you decided to come out and speak out about?
What do you mean what's going on with Myles Garrett? This is no different than I've done every year since you've known me. And I've watched the top defensive lineman prospects and chimed in of what I saw. Same as I did with Dontari Poe when I told you he'd wrecked the combine, looked like a heavy Chevy, bowling ball, or butcher knife. Same as I told you Fletcher Cox was going to be all right, Aaron Donald was going to be good, Gerald McCoy, and a host of other ones. And I told you Ndamukong Suh would be a bull rusher for the rest of his life. And there it is. And I told you Albert Haynesworth was robbing, and there it was.
When you say robbing, like with a...
Oh, yeah, $100 million is not worthy of someone that stepped on somebody's face and never had a 10-sack season, period.
So what are you seeing out of Myles Garrett?
I told you, Rich, I looked at the tape and I was trying to see what everybody else was seeing because I was out of the country. I get back and I just turned the TV on the internet, on my iPad. Boom, let me watch. And I'm like, okay, this is it? This is the first pick?
And what do you see that's wanting?
Rich, in college, you only run into someone on your level 3-4 times a year, all year long. And the fourth time is the bowl game. Where is this game that this young man took over? Because take it from someone who was considered as the number one pick. They ask you, of your 12 games that you played, which one you want us to watch? And I looked at them like they had lost their mind. I'm like, you pick one. Because I know who's on that tape. He's number 76 in your program, number 1 in your heart, and he is kicking butt and taking names. So watch whatever you want to watch. I want to know his answer to that question.
So what would – right.
I want to know his answer to that question, and then when I sit down and watch the game, will you pop popcorn, like T.O. likes to say, and enjoy yourself watching this? Because I've yet to see that performance. And we're talking about the number one, numero uno. We're not talking about the number one defensive prospect or D-line. We're talking about the number one guy.
Warren Sapp joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. So what would you do if you're Cleveland? Would you pass
see, that's the thing that everybody's mistaken from me. I'm not here to tell Cleveland what to do with their pick. I'm just telling you what these eyes see on that tape. That's all I was saying. I'm not attacking the kid. I wish he'd have played, more to the wall, and then they tell me 80 play. Really? That's it? And then I listen to people, he's only going to play 35 to 40 snaps. What number one pick has ever played 35, 40 snaps in a football game? Why would you draft him in the first round if that's all he's going to play? That's half of a football game.
So who have you seen on film
you know what?
You really
the two guys that I give A's on the defensive side is Adams and Allen. For me. But that might not fit your scheme. I'm not trying to fit Cleveland or Philly or anybody else's. I'm just telling you what I saw as a defensive lineman that's been doing this since 1992. And this ain't what I was doing when I was a kid. I was an outside linebacker and a tight end and a punter in high school. This is something I taught myself. I put my hand on the ground and did this. So what I'm looking at and what I'm seeing, I just said it. I should have put a little lazy, not just lazy like that's all he is lazy. He's not that lazy. But when I'm watching him, I'm like, what is that about? Like when you're watching someone on tape, you want to see him. Like if I'm blown, go to the sideline. That's what Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, was sitting over there for. Whenever I felt a little tired in college, I'm going out because I know it don't take long for me to catch my breath and come back in and whoop the scrub that's on the field. We're talking about college. Rice, some directional school, Troy State. What? Come on, man. That shouldn't even be a question for the number one pick. You cook that. You turn it upside down and you bake it, shake it, and serve it to your people. Because we had a rule in our D-line. Do not get sick eating all that cake. Because he is cake. That offensive lineman you facing, he faced more double, triple. What? Huh? What am I missing? I'm a defensive lineman that faced double team in the National Football League. So don't tell me what a double team looks like. These eyes ain't failing me. I'm not blind. I don't have cataracts. I promise you.
So you like Allen's game better from what you
No,
saw on
I like
film in Alabama
Allen's
than
technique
Myles Garrett?
and his ability of what I'm seeing play in and play out. The ability to say, okay, I take this young man, I take some of that body fat, and I bring him down 15, 20 pounds, and then I go. With Myles Garrett, you're just looking at the measurables going, he's got to be something. Because I've yet to see the game that he took over.
Warren's.
In college, you have to take the game
Sapp,
over. It's just natural in you to do so. You're just that much better.
So, yeah, man, I don't know what the Browns are going to do, Warren. Because, I mean, look, I just saw him at the Combine. He jumped out of that gym, and I understand what you said about jumping out of the gym, and you got to be aware of that. And I understand that, you know, you were in the draft with Mamula, and look what happened. But
listen, man, I've seen the measurables.
See the Browns.
I've seen the guy that jumps 10, 5/8 in the broad jumps. I've never broad jumped on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon to go make a play in a football game. I remember Tom Coughlin when I worked out at University of Miami, and I did 225 16 or 17 times. He looked at me as if I just stolen his lunch and took his baby boy from him. And I'm looking at him like, you okay? And he's like, 17? I'm like, well, who did the most this year? And he's like, Brandon Sty. I'm like, well, I remember playing him. Put the tape on and tell me which player you want on your football team. I understand the measurables because he's that big, that fast. I mean, just looking at the kid, you go, oh, my goodness. I know what that is. I've seen a lot of Tarzan that play like Jane. But I'm not saying that's what he is. But what I'm looking at is not a dominant number one pick in my book.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.